The ability to create your own shot in basketball is an art. The best artists are the ones that are creative, and to me, there are very few artists in the game of basketball that are as creative as Tre Mann. The former Florida standout guard and 18th overall pick in the 2021 NBA draft has been one of the most entertaining guards in the league for me to watch this season. And in today's video, I'll be breaking down the game of Tre Mann and why he's just so fun to watch. Quickly before we do get into the video though, if you're new and you like basketball, I really think you'd love this channel. So if you haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, I'm notified whenever I release a video. I make videos breaking down the film of NBA players, so if that's something that interests you, this is the channel for you. Let's try to get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend to others. That being said, let's talk about Tre Mann. Tre Mann was one of the best 3-point shooting rookies this season. He shot 36% from 3 on 4.5 attempts per game. Among 11 rookies who took at least 200 3-point attempts, only 3 rookies had a better 3-point percentage than Tre did. Those rookies are Dwayne Washington Jr., Chris Duarte, and Bones Highland, and to be quite honest with you, Tre was not that far behind all 3 of those players. It wasn't like there was some big gap between him and those 3. Tre has good range on his shot and displays a good variety in his shot variance from 3, which is very encouraging in my eyes at least. Tre has all the signs that he can be one of the better shooters in the league one day, and I honestly think his rookie shooting numbers are a good baseline, and it wouldn't shock me if this was the worst 3-point shooting season of his career, considering he did kind of start off a bit slow. Being a good 3-point shooter is a good baseline to having a high floor as a guard, and I do think that Tre does have a high floor because of this. But to me, what makes Tre Mann an interesting basketball player isn't the fact that he has a high floor because he's a good shooter. When I say Tre Mann is a rare shot creator, that isn't hyperbole. Among young players that entered the league in recent memory, he ranks toward the top as a shot creator based off pure ability. He is a natural shot creator, and what I mean by that is nothing feels predetermined, and he's very comfortable creating off the dribble and improvising. His feel for the game, creating offense for himself, is off the charts for a rookie. He has a very good handle that can be attributed to the same things that make his shot creating so deadly: his flexibility and his balance. His flexibility allows him to create angles that only a few would even notice, and his balance allows him to stay in control when creating tough angles. He's under control and on balance even in the most chaotic situations. He has all the tools both physically and mentally to be a special shot creator, and I would argue based off skill and ability alone, not numbers, he is already one of the best shot creators in the league. I do think Tre Mann needs to improve as a finisher around the basket. He shoots 47.8% in the restricted area and 39.7% on layups. However, I also believe this is something that can be fixed in due time just by adding more functional strength. He only weighs 170 pounds, and I think his frame can get to around 190, 195. Part of his frame is due to a growth spurt that he had during his final season in college, so I think the weight is just catching up to the height now. But he does display good touch and good body control around the basket as a finisher, so I think it's definitely more of a strength problem than it is about lacking fundamentals as a finisher. It's a flaw in his game, no doubt. The numbers reflect that, the tape reflects that. But it's also a flaw I think can correct itself, which is why I'm not as worried about it as much as I would be if he had clear fundamental problems with the finishing ability. I also think at his best, Tre is a solid passer. Nothing special, but not bad either. It could be much worse. He does have some flaws as a passer, but nothing that worries me too much. I don't think he will ever be some big time passer, but he was never given the role of a big time passer during his priors. And when OKC drafted him, they drafted him to be a scorer, not a passer. They drafted Tuskegee to be a passer. Again, he can make basic reads. I am not saying that he is a bad passer, but I doubt he will ever be a primary passer in the league. But given the potential I believe he has as a scorer and the skills that he shows as a scorer, it shouldn't matter too much, and I do think he will be a passable passer. No pun intended. Well, maybe. I don't know. I think at his best, Tre Mann has the potential to be a 15 to 18 point per game scorer on decent efficiency as a starter on a playoff team. And while that may feel like a low ceiling, that's nothing to laugh about. Being a productive player on a contender or even a playoff team isn't something that everyone can be, and I think Tre can be that. I do think his lack of any real special passing does limit his ceiling a bit, and I also think that even if he does improve as a finisher, I don't think he'll ever be special in this regard, and I do think that not being a major threat as a finisher, but still being solid, and not really being a special passer, it does kind of lower your scoring gravity a bit, even if he is a very special shot creator. Not everyone can be a starter in this league, and even though Tre has a very special ability, you have to remember some of the best shot creators in league history were never stars. You can be an elite shot creator and not be a star. Just because I don't think Tre has star potential doesn't mean I think that he's not good. I do think he's good. I think he's going to be very good. But with the players entering the league in the coming years, especially at the guard spot, and the players in the league already at the guard spot, it's hard for me to believe that he can be a star as a guard in this league. It's hard to be a star guard in this league, and I think it's just more realistic that Tre Mann is someone that ends up being closer to a solid to slightly above average player rather than a flat out star. But that doesn't change the fact that he's also one of the most gifted shot creators I have ever seen, hands down. What he can do physically and mentally as a shot creator is rare. And I think that he will be in the league for a long time, whether that be as a starter, whether it be as a bench player, I don't know. But I think that gift is going to be enough to keep him in the league for a very long time. And he's going to be a highlight reel for years to come. But that's the end of this video. You made it to this point. Thank you so much. You guys have no idea how much the support on these videos means to me. I'm very appreciative of all of it, and the support has just been awesome on this journey ever since I started using this channel and making film breakdowns. So I can't thank you guys enough. But again, if you aren't already and you made to this point, why not subscribe? I hope that you would have seen something that you liked if you made it to this point. Maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But if you did see something you liked, I'm making more content like this. I'm willing to bet you what you saw that you liked will be in other videos that I make in the future. And you can go check out videos that I've made already. I have over 20 film breakdowns on this channel that I think you would like. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.